Hello and welcome back to Sacred Secrets, the Soul's Remembering. I'm Chelsea Reinbold and I am so honored to have you here. And I've missed doing this. It's been a while. And for those of you who are listening, I am also putting these on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube and this is your first one and you want to catch up on my entire life story, my journey, and head over to you can find it on Spotify and Apple, but let's just go ahead and jump in. It's been it's it's been wild. So what I really want to talk about is my nervous system and how I didn't recognize that I was in survival and in freeze mode for so long. It's been actually about a year now. And on top of that, I never also realized that I think that I actually do suffer from the winter depression, and it's a real thing. I feel like I'm finally emerging out of it. It's almost 60 degrees, and the sun is hit or miss right now, but I feel alive again. But it's also a combination of a few other factors. But rewinding back to March of 2024, so in March of 2024, I was offered a position, a coaching position with the company that I originally worked for, the company that introduced me to the whole coaching world. She was my original coach and it completely changed my life. Now, I had worked for her a while back and it wasn't really fulfilling me. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to coach, but just not like that. So I left. I did my own thing for a few years. And she was looking for another coach, and so she reached out, and it was great. It was great. Um, it was a great opportunity, and the first couple months was amazing, but when I jumped in, it was like I jumped all in. And I went from working with just a couple clients on my own to now working with 20-25 clients at a time. And when you're doing that privately one-on-one, it's a lot. And that was too much for my nervous system. So moving through this journey, I also, again, kept going back to not feeling fulfilled and feeling burned out and not doing what I wanted to do. When I was first hired in, it was hired in to do mindset coaching and breath work, which is my ultimate passion is mindset, somatic work, breath work, trauma healing, manifestation, all of those things. But I was doing more than that. And then it turned into doing sales calls for resigns. And then I'm not a salesperson. I'm just going to be full transparency there. I am not a salesperson. I am the type that if you tell me no, cool, I'm here. I'm not going to push and force. I'm not going to pull all the pain points out and tell you why you need me. Um, and for some people, that works great. And that's why these entrepreneurs are making 6, 7 figures. Um, that's not me, and that's okay. And so then my rate was going down. And so then I got put onto a probation period, which again is fine. We did some shifts and changes. So I was no longer taking those calls, doing those types of sales calls. And I went from 20 to 25 clients. Pay structure shifted and changed. And I went from 20 to 25 clients down to about 5 to 8. And so in that time, I'm like, oh, this is perfect opportunity for me to get back into my business as well, because that's my passion. And this is where things really were starting, where I started to really recognize a lot. And now that I'm out of it, I'm able to really reflect and see where I was living in so much fear and scarcity, and during this whole time, I had put on weight. No matter what I was doing, I could not lose the weight. I changed the way I was eating, working out. Like, I know all these things. I've coached on all of these. I have a coach. I just was stuck. And it was because my nervous system was in complete shutdown mode. I had no motivation. And when I say motivation, because motivation can be taken many different ways, but when I say motivation, I mean like I struggle to get up in the morning and just do my day-to-day things. Whether that was, go and take a shower, I found myself waking up, struggling to wake up in the morning, heading to the couch, just scrolling social media. That right there, you guys, if that is something that you tend to do, that is the first sign that your nervous system is in freeze. Um, and sometimes it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to even recognize that you're in that because when you're in it, it's like I just can't do anything. I can't figure things out. Why am I struggling? Why can't this happen? And really it comes down to here. Like it's all my body was communicating so much with me and I wasn't listening, which is crazy because this is work that I do, right? So I was just explaining I'm human too. And so moving forward, I started focusing back in my business because now I had the time. And I have a couple clients. Well, who I was working for, she did not like that I was doing that and said that it was a conflict of interest and all of these things. And so in that moment, this was in January, I had the opportunity to either really explain myself and defend myself or just let it go. Either way, I was losing my job. And the way that I looked at it was I can defend myself all I want, but her beliefs are her beliefs. Her thoughts are her thoughts. And I'm not going to be able to change that. So I'm like, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. But at the same time, before all of this, this is where I was really living in that fear and scarcity because I kept thinking, oh, if I just have X amount of clients, then I can leave and not work there anymore. And in that time, because that's what I was living in was that fear, that scarcity, the shutdown, the survival. The universe was like, Charles, no, like we're cutting it. We're cutting it. And so the universe took care of that for me. Um, and so it was hard. And so, January, most of January, it was again just like trying to figure things out. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What needs to change? What needs to shift? How can I get out of this? How can I get out from being stuck? Because I am tired of feeling down, not knowing my direction. And so last month, I decided I was going to do a heavy metal parasite cleanse, and I'm on day 3. So next week's episode, I will give more of an update on how that's going. It feels freaking good. It's, again, a roller coaster. So in this cleanse, what you do is you take tinctures, supplements, you eat all the fruit you want, pureed vegetable soup for dinner. So I'm never going hungry. And it goes deeper than just releasing the heavy metals and the parasites. It actually is more of not just a physical detox, but it's also an emotional detox. I'm like, this is what I need to do. And I'm doing this so that I can start to really release and get deep to my core so that I can start to really move forward. And that's why I chose to do this cleanse or detox, however you want to word it. They're basically, I don't know, in my mind, the same thing. I need to really just cleanse myself from all the things and spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, so I can make space. And this is how I really explain breathwork to my clients is we need to make space and in order to really call in our desires and what it is that we want. So on this journey, I always like to picture it as like your body is your wardrobe, your closet, right? And so when we purge and get rid of all of the clothes that we no longer want to wear, that no longer fit us, that are like ancient, get rid of them. And when we get rid of them, what ends up happening is, down the road, our closet is full again. And so our body is really similar. Our body is similar in the way of holding on to emotions, trauma, stress, all of the things. And when it builds up, builds up, builds up, then your nervous system is in overdrive or it can shut right down. My protecting mechanism is I shut down. So I knew it was time to just really clean it out. So in this time frame, I'm on day 3. Um, I'm doing breath work, all the things, and it's been an amazing 3 days so far. A lot of learning, a lot of reflection, a lot of interesting things have been coming up, thoughts, beliefs, all of it. And that's where I started to realize where I had been for the last year. And I was in survival. I was living in fear and scarcity. And I don't need to live that way. I am perfectly taken care of here at home. This is a safe space. I am never going to go without something. I'm never going to go without my needs being met. So, what is this need that needs to be met that I'm not quite finding? And it's been interesting to say the least. So, that has been my last year in a nutshell, and that's why I have been so quiet on here on this podcast. Just really navigating life and pulling myself out, and it's this last few days have been probably the best few days I've had in a year, and I really, really feel like the light at the end of the tunnel is there. Like I see it. I'm moving towards it now. I'm no longer it's like one of those nightmares where you see something at the end of the hallway and you just can't get to it. No matter how fast you run, how hard you try, you just can't get to it. I feel like I'm starting to finally get to it, and it's been amazing. And with all of this being said, I have so many exciting things that are now unfolding, and really sitting with myself and my desires and where I actually see myself. I had this vision. So I'm going to share with you guys on here before I haven't even shared it on social media yet. I don't plan on to doing that until maybe next month. But about a year or so ago, I had this vision of teaching people how to facilitate breath work, how to teach people to make it their medicine, because we can all facilitate breath work. It's finding that how to do it in a safe manner. Okay. And so I had this vision and I let it go because I, again, was living in survival. And it was like all of those stories of, I can't do that. I'm not worthy enough. Nobody's going to want to learn from me. All of those stories playing out. And so then I just let it go. And about a month ago, my friend out of the blue sent me a text message. She's like, I just had this random thought, and I think you should do your own breathwork training program. I'm like, interesting you say that. Um, So I'm in the making of it. This is what lights me up. This is what lights me up the most. And yes, I absolutely love mentorship. I love coaching, but it's like, how can I do it deeper? How can I take that even deeper? And so that's my goal, is to create this training program to be able to support people, teach them how to facilitate breathwork, but maybe that's not even your goal. Maybe your goal is to go deeper in your own healing journey and use breathwork as your tool. And so that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a 6-month journey. It's going to be an amazing 6-month journey where I will teach you all of the tools of how to facilitate breathwork safely. You're going to learn about trauma. You're going to learn about how the body holds trauma. But at the same time, the way to do this and really embody it is to go through your own journey. Yeah. So a bulk of this training is going to be you going through your journey, you understanding yourself at the depths, how to understand when your nervous system is not in the window of tolerance, when you are outside of that, when you are living in survival, in ways to be able to bring yourself out. And breath is one of the number one ways to do that. I'm going to teach you how to use breath daily, how to go on breathwork journeys, how to take yourself on these journeys, how to guide other people to go on these journeys if that is something that you choose. So that's just a little snippet of what I've got going on. And, with this being said, I do plan on in the coming months closing down my one-on-one mentorship program that I have and just solely focusing on the breathwork training. So if you have been on the fence with wanting to work with me privately, one-on-one, this is your chance because I only have 2 spots open. This is your chance to really, like, if you have body goals, you want to manifest something, you have big life goals, and you find yourself constantly self-sabotaging yourself, constantly being in that stuck, like not sure of the direction to go, or you've tried going this direction and it didn't work. I want to lead you. I want to guide you to get you out of that so that you can start to achieve your goals. Okay. So I kind of bounce all over the place, but yes, so this detox that I'm doing, because I'm sure you're still like, come on, Chelsea, like, I'm interested. I want to hear about it. Um, it is from Sanctuary Holistic Wellness. I know a handful of people who have done it in the past and just absolutely loved it, and it was an amazing journey for them. I will link it in the show notes, so you can always go check them out. You can find them on Instagram. And the way that it works, like I said, you take tinctures, supplements, you eat all the fruit, pureed vegetable soup. I have not been hungry at all. I've been very satisfied. Day one, from the shift in all of the foods and the supplements, I really felt it in my gut. And I felt very, I don't want to say big, but very bloated. Um, I had a lot of gassy pain going on in my gut as well. And I was tired. I didn't think that day one I would really feel that much from it because it's like day 3, day 4, yes, very common. We've been feeling the symptoms from it, but no, I was feeling it starting day 1. And so was in bed super early, like 8:30. And then day 2, which was yesterday, I woke up, I felt good. I was able to do things around the house. I had a little bit more energy until I took a bath, and I feel like that bath from sweating in the bath because my baths are like probably too hot. Um, when I got out of the bath, I had to just lay in bed for like a while, 10-15 minutes before I could even get dressed because it was just, I did not feel good. And then I ended up with a headache and the sore throat and all of those symptoms. No energy. I was fatigued. I went to bed again. I think last night was at like 8 o'clock in the evening. But today I woke up. I feel fantastic. I feel so energized. I did a workout. I went for a walk. I showered and did my makeup. I've done some computer work. So during this 10 days, I chose to just like not have anything on my calendar except for my couple client calls. But I don't have any events. I don't plan on really sitting and doing a lot of computer work. I just plan on resting. But today I had the energy and I feel like doing the things. So I'm listening to it. I'm taking it slow so that I don't crash later on this afternoon. But next week I will be able to give a full update. And I'm excited to let you guys all know how it goes. And again, thank you so much for supporting and listening. And I'm excited to really get back into doing these episodes. I will get back into doing them at least twice a month is my goal, if not more. I would also love to start incorporating breathwork into these episodes as well. And yeah, for those of you who are local, I have some events coming up, so you can check out my website for those or my social media. And then also Costa Rica retreat coming in September. It's September 23rd through the 29th. If you're interested, I would love to have you there. It's going to be amazing. We have 3 spots left, so reach out, let me know if you have questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.